about Juneteenth celebrations? They're in full swing now. Many events are happening all over the city this weekend. It's all leading up to the holiday on Monday, which honors the announcement of the end to slavery in the United States.
In Evanston, the first U.S. city to issue slavery reparations, a parade and flag raising near the Robert Crown Community Center. The fourth annual parade to celebrate the Black community's resilience and contributions was a sight. The community celebrated the progress made since Juneteenth and also the work that still needs to be done to achieve true equity.
Meanwhile,
Girl. What do you want?
Breaking news this morning, one person dead after a mass shooting in southwest suburban Willowbrook overnight. Now, we're learning this happened during a Juneteenth celebration among young people there.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a story that we're not supposed to talk about, okay? Because Brandon Johnson told us to stop talking about Chicago and the youth that is terrorizing the city there, okay? They say, hey, if you're not from Chicago and you're in the media, don't talk about us.
That's the best thing that you can offer to the people of Chicago. Not criticism, not demonization, not a city that is divided over whether or not young people should be seen or heard. We're not going to allow the press or the media to dictate who our young people are. In fact, I'll say it again. If you don't live in Chicago and you're not offering up solutions, stop talking about us. Now, you all know I'm sanctified. I really wanted to cuss there, but I was raised better.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. And I'm pretty sure the woke mayor would be happy to know that I am, in fact, talking about Willowbrook, which is a southwestern suburb in Chicago, okay? So, again, according to some people, not technically Chicago, right? Even though it really is, okay? But still, you know, I'm just giving a technicality here, right? So that we can talk about this story that involves young people in the Chicago area, okay, who can't even celebrate Juneteenth without people getting shot up, okay, without there being a mass shooting, which is exactly what happened at this Juneteenth party in a suburb outside of Chicago or near Chicago, a Chicago suburb, whatever you want to call it, okay, because, hey, we can't say it's actually Chicago, but, yeah, this happened, and again, it's just another reminder of how black folks can't even come together to celebrate Juneteenth, okay, which is supposed to be a holiday where, you know, we celebrate the end of slavery. Can't even celebrate the end of slavery, which apparently is the worst thing ever for black folks, right? Can't even celebrate that without killing each other. It really is a shame. So I want to talk about it. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel and you want to support my channel, you can check out my new merch. Like, for example, my racist coffee mugs, which is a daily reminder of the 2023 definition of racist, according to the left, which is anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. It also has my logo on the back, Team BCP. You guys can check that out at my website, gforemanbcp.com. Get 20% off using discount code TEAMBCP. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this clip about Juneteenth in Chicago and the mass shooting that happened there. Take a look.
Breaking news this morning, one person dead after a mass shooting in southwest suburban Willowbrook overnight. Now, we're learning this happened during a Juneteenth celebration among young people there. CBS 2's Asal Razai live at the scene this morning where police just wrapped up a news conference moments ago to tell us what she knows so far.
Yeah, Suzanne, so we're learning that at least 20 people have been shot. That is 20 gunshot victims, and you mentioned at least one person is dead. This shooting happened as a crowd was gathered here at this parking lot you see here behind me, and I'll just show you what exactly is going on right now as we've been bringing you updates this morning from the scene. Investigators still here processing the crime scene. We do know that multiple law enforcement agencies have been here since 12:30 when those gunshots rang out. This is off Route 83 in Willowbrook. Witnesses tell us they heard at least 20 to 30 gunshots. Heavy police presence here. You can see trash and debris littered in the aftermath of the shooting. We're told a party was happening here. Those gunshots sending people running for their lives. A witness says they saw a car drive up, the passenger of that car firing off those shots. Over 200 teens and young people were gathered here for what we told is a reoccurring event that they usually say is a fun and safe time. Police were close by monitoring the festivities when the shooting happened. One woman tells us she was scared for her life. Take a listen.
I got kids to come back home to.
Yeah.
I'm not used to I'm not used to this. I wasn't expecting that. But you just never know. Anything can happen anywhere.
The whole parking lot was filled. People seemed like they were celebrating and such like that. But then, I seen that they had cops laid out on all the entrances and everything like that. I just got back home and now they got the place all taped up and they shut down the roads.
Yeah. As we were getting ready to go, we gathered everybody else that was with us. We just started heard the shoot come from behind us, so we dropped down. Mm-hmm. We dropped down until they stopped. They just kept going. After that, we literally scattered away and just started trying to check up on everybody.
And this is the scene right now. There's still police tape blocking the entire parking lot that stretches over a block here. There's the businesses that are all closed. A van right there by the command center, the pop-up command center, which is the tent. And still several agencies here helping out, investigating debris all over the ground. Now, there are a few other things to note. Authorities still don't know a motive. They don't know if there were multiple shooters. A weapon has not been recovered, and they're unsure if there's been situations that have brought police to this location in the past. As we find out that information, we will let you know. I'm Jen DeSalvo in Willowbrook, NBC 5 News.
Yeah, still a lot of questions here, but thank you for the update, Jen.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. I'm still trying to figure out, where does Trump come into play here, right? Where does the white man come into play here? Because it got to be their fault, right? It can't be the fault of these young teenagers, according to Brandon Johnson and the woke revolutionaries. It can't be the fault of young people, okay? It can't be the fault of, the people there or black folk came in. It has to be the white man. Some way, somehow, this is the white man's fault, okay? Because these people, right, you can't even have a party celebrating Juneteenth, okay, celebrating the end of slavery, which again that's a whole other video for another day. I've already done videos on Juneteenth before in the past. I really don't want to talk too much about Juneteenth this year unless I have to, right? But you can't even celebrate this holiday that's supposed to be for blacks, right? It's supposed to be for black people, supposed to be a time of celebration. Can't celebrate it without worrying about a party getting shot up, okay? And again, it's a shame, right? It really is a shame that this is what is happening in these inner liberal cities, and it happens every single holiday, okay? Every holiday, this happens. People try to celebrate, they try to have fun, they try to enjoy their lives, but they can't because criminals, thugs, they want to commit acts of violence. And then when you start asking questions and say, hey, why is this happening, right? This is not normal. They accuse you of being racist, right? You're racist, okay? You're far right, okay? You hate blacks, okay? This is what they say. But what they're doing is that they're ignoring what clearly is a cultural problem. When you can't even party without violence occurring, that means that there's a culture of violence that is present in some of these communities that people can't escape, okay? And the fact that, again, people don't want to talk about it, this is not going to be national news. No, don't get me wrong. There'll be news outlets that cover it. But what I mean by national news is that, for example, you're not going to turn on CNN and see wall-to-wall coverage of this the same way you would see wall-to-wall coverage of this if this was a mass shooting that was committed anywhere else, okay, outside of an inner liberal city. Again, Chicago happens every single weekend. This is probably not even the worst of one. But, I mean, again, this happened at just one thing. Okay, so you got 23 people shot, 1 dead. Who knows? There could be more deaths. You're not going to see it on mainstream liberal television in regards to wall-to-wall coverage. They might mention it a little bit or whatever. You'll see some news articles about it on the internet, right? But they're not going to give you the same coverage as they would give if, again, this had occurred in any other type of situation, especially if the mass shooter was white, right? This occurred somewhere where they could blame the white man and that they could talk about, hey, it's the gun's fault, right? This is, again, how this goes. But because it occurred in Chicago, it's treated as normal, right? It's just a normal thing. It's whatever, right? So that being said, again, we got to check in on woke Mayor Brandon Johnson because even though this is in Willowbrook, I'm not sure if this is his responsibility. Regardless, it's in the area, okay? It's in the area. So I'm going to talk about it here. Chicago has had a 38% spike in crime during Brandon Johnson's first month in office. And again, this is important because Brandon Johnson has a new woke policing initiative where he's relying on the community to police themselves, right? Less police. Okay, they don't want more police involvement. They don't want to have more police. They don't want to arrest more people. They want to have woke community volunteers basically try to police some of these neighborhoods and to get some of these young kids in line. However, it doesn't seem like this is really working, right? It doesn't seem like it's really working. But hey, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But up until now, it seems like Brandon Johnson here, at the very least, violence is increasing under his administration. So let's read here. Today marks 1 month since Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson entered office on May 15, 2023. He commemorated the milestone on Twitter with a thread detailing what he is focused on thus far. Notably, there was only one mention of public safety, and it did not even reference a specific policy. This is significant because new data show Mayor Johnson has presided over a 38% crime spike over his first month in office when comparing it to the same period last year. Vehicle thefts spiked by 153%. Aggravated battery is up 17%. Burglary jumped by 12%, and even shootings rose 5%. A few weeks ago, carjackings got so bad the Chicago Police Department had to issue a, quote, community alert urging residents to be more vigilant about their surroundings and to always be on the lookout for suspicious activity when entering or leaving vehicles. The lone exception to this pattern is murders, which went down by 5%. In raw numbers, it means there were only 3 fewer people killed. It's reasonable to look at these numbers within the broader context of Chicago's long-standing crime problem. It is not as if this crime spike is happening because of Mayor Johnson. It's not. After all, crime has been rapidly rising for years in Chicago, 56% over the past 4 years to be exact. There is no way a new mayor could come in and make everything change overnight. Yeah, but see, here's the problem. I have no faith that this man will actually do that, right? He's not going to make any changes. It's not going to get better under him. It's actually just going to get worse. Now, again, time has not passed enough for us to actually really judge Brandon Johnson, but we know that his focus does not lie in trying to fight crime. His focus does not lie in trying to get these criminals off the streets and rightfully demonizing these teenagers, these young scholars, who are basically causing chaos in his city. His policies, his focus lies with going to events, being on podcasts, celebrating pride in illegal immigrants, right? That is what this guy is all about, okay? And the result that you get is what you see happening in Chicago. Again, more crime. Now, like I said, to be fair to him, it's too early to really judge, okay? It's too early to say whether or not he's being effective or not. I'm just saying, based off his rhetoric and the things he's advocating for, I just don't have faith that that city is going to get better. I think things are just going to get worse. And, we'll see, right? We'll see. But, again, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.